All right, everyone. Thank you for joining for Rangerstop Lounge here at Rangerstop Orlando. I'm excited to have our next Red Ranger. We had Steve earlier, and then we got our next Red Ranger right behind him. So the Reds are coming in today.
We're representing.
Exactly.
Yeah, can't keep a good Red Ranger down.
Exactly. Well, of course, you know, we're on the last day of Rangerstop Orlando. The weather has held up. I have been having a running joke all weekend long that the hurricane was coming.
Yeah.
Power Rangers end up coming Friday. It cleared out. I was like, I still kind of feel like Rita and her little team was something behind it.
I know, but they forgot Megazords work in all weather. They're 4-wheel drive, so you know it didn't stop us.
Exactly. And then you have the ones in space. They
just fly over and then they drop down. Yeah,
exactly.
Like weather. We are in space. We're fine.
Exactly. So it's like all of a sudden beautiful skies and everything. So I mean, yes, it's been a great Rangerstop Orlando weekend.
Amazing. Yes.
After it's been 3 years since Orlando's had a con, so
it's crazy.
Yes.
I can't even believe it's been that long because I still remember the other ones. Like I know this is a different hotel as well. But when I get here, you know, it's a lot of the same people, so it's like a reunion versus 3 years is really fast. Dang.
Exactly. And you know, because we had the pandemic and everything, so you know, so many fans were so excited to see you and the rest of the Rangers, but also our pop culture guests from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that are here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I say the nostalgia there is just, you know, amazing, and they have been
90s had the best TV. I'm sorry. Like that's why they keep remaking revivals. 2000s as well were good. But you know, it's like Power Rangers kept going. iCarly is back again. You're like just keeping it, you know.
It was something about that 90s, early 2000 magic that it's like everybody wants that nostalgia back. So like you said, you're seeing a lot of the TV shows, movies that was back that time, including like we had Hocus Pocus. That came back with a second movie. We're gearing up with the 30th anniversary special coming out.
I'm excited for it.
Oh my gosh. And I was just talking with Steve, like, hopefully with the special and all of you watching, it would encourage Hasbro to want to create its own Power Ranger universe similar to Marvel's universe. And having your storyline start intertwining and connecting.
Yeah, they have a comics. They should make an animated series too.
Yes.
And people are like, well, no, we don't want to lose live action. I agree, but Marvel has live action. They have comics and they have animated. Like they don't have to infringe on each other. They can support each other.
And that's what we want. And then I highly, Hasbro, if you're listening to
Forever Red 2.
Go ahead.
I don't know if she was going to say that.
And I think you need to have a Power Ranger Plus app. Just like how Disney, that you can watch all Power Rangers anytime. Power Ranger Plus app, original series that you can watch there, that you can have the live action animated version.
Have access to all the comics because they do that digitally now in apps too. Okay, I see where you're going.
So Hasbro, I mean,
and you can send people like a free toy every month as part of the subscription or something.
Exactly. So if you happen, Brennan, reach out to him. He gave his 10% for this idea, and the other 10% go to Rangerstop.
There you go. There you go.
But of course, going into some questions for you. You have done stunts for over 13 projects so far, like Westworld, Obi-Wan Kenobi, How to Get Away from with Murder, and more. How was it performing stunts for these shows, and which show did you enjoy working on the most?
Oh my gosh, they're all amazing in their own rights. Obviously, Obi-Wan Kenobi being in the Star Wars universe, that was, when I got the email for it, I literally thought it was like someone making something up because I didn't know who it was.
Great email.
Yeah, I showed it to Yoshi. I was like, "Do you recognize any of these names?" Because he's in the stunt game, but was more than I was. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, that guy's legit." So I reached out, And they found me on a website where,
Really?
because there's like different stunt websites where you put in like your skills, your sizes,
Yes.
things like that. And then so when they're looking for a double, they'll be like, okay, we need someone who's 5'9", you know, this skin tone or whatever, to double whatever actor.
Okay.
So I doubled Kumail Nanjiani in episode 2 on Obi-Wan Kenobi. And that's when my hair was long, so it like matched almost perfectly. Like it was just so easy. And just being in the Star Wars universe is great. But like How to Get Away with Murder, that was fun. I've been on it multiple when it was on different episodes. But one of them I remember, it was an easy stunt. Like I just had to run away, like I was jogging, and then the car was chasing me, like stalking. And so my character sees it and starts sprinting and trying to get away, and the car speeds up. Super easy, just run, right?
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, don't trip. Because the car is so close to me.
Yes.
If I trip, like, you know. So I was just like, easy stuff, but this is not the time to fumble and get run over by a car. So.
Because you know everybody's experience of the tripping over air. There's no rocks or anything, and it's like
like that would not have been the time to do it
exactly.
because I was too close to that car, and it would have been a bad thing.
Wow. So with you doing all that, and especially Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they have the new series for Star Wars Andor that just came out.
And Ahsoka.
Coming soon. So. With all those shows and potential other shows, which one would be your dream stunt show or movie you would want to be on to either play as an actual character or main character or doing stunts for that movie or show?
I would love to be able to be in Marvel, like maybe as Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, because he's a Latino Spider-Man.
Yes.
Or even just getting to do stunts for him would be great. Or was Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka? I think I look like him quite a bit.
Yes,
I
agree.
Double him would be cool. To then double an actual Jedi. So I don't know though. Like there's so many roles, and I try not to focus on the ones I don't get because then you would just be like, I could have been, but what's meant to be someone else's isn't meant to be mine.
Yes.
So it makes no sense to be mad about it. Like Power Rangers, I auditioned for Power Rangers Samurai and didn't get it.
Really?
Yeah. And I went like to callback, and at the time I let it really beat me up. I was so like, man, I was so close. And then Dino Charge came out of left field, and you know, I'm happy that I came this Red Ranger, you know? So.
Exactly. So, okay, Marvel, because I know you film a lot in Atlanta. Reach out to Brennan. Because you already talked about the multiple universe. We got the new Into the Spider-Verse coming out next year. So we're going to introduce more of the alternative universe Spider-Man. So right here. And in the most recent Spider-Man live action, you got to see the multiple Spider-Mans too. So
just saying. Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey, we could have some fun.
Because y'all gave y'all plan.
I do flips.
There you go. Through 25, you said 26, so that gives you time to go out and reach out, negotiate, and start filming in 2024 for that film to come out around that time frame. So I'm putting it out there. All of you watching, if you agree, tag Disney in the comments so they can see this live, and then that way they can reach out to Brennan about, that part, because I'm putting it out in the
I appreciate it. You never know how things come full circle.
Exactly. Well, I also heard you have a very unique talent. You can say anything in English backwards.
As long as I can spell it, but yes.
No.
Yes, I can. I spell many words, though.
Yes.
So, yes.
So, what and how did you learn such a talent?
So when I was a kid, I was dropped on my head. No, I don't know. I realized it in middle school.
Really?
I was going to a Rubio's restaurant with my sister and my dad, and I just said Rubio's backwards, which is soyber, if you're going to ask. Just out loud, randomly. I don't know. And they're like, what did you say? I was like, I said Rubio's. And they're like, why? I was like, I don't know. And they're like, can you say other stuff? I'm like, I don't know. And they just started quizzing me, and it's like, I guess I talk backwards. So that's kind of how I realized it. But it was, I don't know. I just, when I was in class, I would read books and I would just read them, like each sentence forward and backwards. And it got to the point where I could do words I've never even tried to do before, as long as I could spell it. Because I do it phonetically, So if you recorded it and played it, it wouldn't sound the same. Because that's not phonetically, So like the word hour, like 1 hour, I say ruach, R-U-O-H. I pronounce the H so someone is aware that there's an H. Because if I just said ruach, it could be hours, but not hour. So it's,
gotcha.
I don't know. There was no rule book. I just made it up as I went.
Well, it's I'm going to get scientific. That's a form of elevated intelligence that you are able to do that.
Smart.
Yes, extremely smart. Well, it's just like, like I said, left brain, right brain, and
I'm left-handed too.
And they do say that anyone's left-handed, it's an elevated intelligence for doing that.
Let's go, Southpaw.
Exactly. So, you were already at a young age putting it all there, right there.
Yeah. It served me well in life, being able to talk backwards, coming to the highest educational schools available to mankind.
Well, doing something like that can easily be another futuristic language.
Yeah.
And you could play a character doing that.
Zatanna in DC Comics, her power is to speak backwards for her spells. And then, if they ever made her have a brother or, I don't know, her dad, but a younger version or something.
Well, in alternate universe, she's a guy.
But I actually do speak backwards. Like, I literally could do this with no problem. Like, you don't need special effects. You just, give me the script. I learn it. All right, I'll say these spells. Easy.
And, literally, go ahead and bring Zatanna into because DC's planning on doing their universe too.
Yeah.
So introduce Zatanna.
I love DC as well.
And
Superman,
then have
Batman,
that
let's go.
alternative
Green
universe
Lantern,
coming.
come on, the Flash. Yeah.
Yes. Because you have the
Nightwing. I would like to be Nightwing too.
Ooh,
that'd be another one.
I think that would
I
be
always forget
perfect
about
for you.
Nightwing because I'm like, I don't look like the comic version of Nightwing. Obviously, things are changing in movies and whatnot.
But you do have the look. Because you got to realize Nightwing has been drawn different styles.
It's true.
You have one of the styles of him. So
he's circus. I'm circus. Just saying.
HBO Max, DC. I'm just saying, tag them, please.
Yeah. DC, Marvel, and then they could fight over: do we want him to be Nightwing, or do we want him to be Zatanna, or Zatanna, or Spider-Man, or both? Yeah. Cross over to both. I'm down.
Because there's a lot of actors that's in Marvel universe, and now they're over in the DC
we can
universe.
Share. Yeah.
When you're talented and highly intellectual like Brennan, he can do both. I'm just saying. So, of course, seeing your lineup of shows and movies that you performed in, what has been your most memorable project that you've worked on?
I'd probably say Power Rangers, just because it's the role I got to be the same character for 8 months versus a guest star where I'm 1 episode, 2 episodes, or whatever the arc is. When I do stunts, so I double some people regularly. So in that sense, it's a collaboration on that character.
Okay.
But Tyler, I got to invent in a sense. Obviously working within the dialogue I'm given and the type of character he's supposed to be. But and I also grew up on Power Rangers. So I was in American Horror Story, but I didn't know what it was at the time because I was in the first season. iCarly, I was in the first episode. It wasn't like an established franchise yet. None of us knew what it would become. But Power Rangers, I was like, I want to make sure that people don't hate me for ruining, the season. And so I did a bunch of research and rewatched a bunch of seasons and watched the Sentai of Dino Charge, Kyoryuger. So I really tried to make it I went back to my old acting coach, just to brush up, and I just wanted to make it as good as possible, and hopefully the fans liked.
And they appreciate that because when we hear that with movies and stuff, when you see actors doing the work, research, they're getting into the mindset of the character, it comes across, and because of that, Power Rangers has been around as of next year 30 years.
I know, crazy.
And it's just amazing seeing how many generations of Power Rangers we have, how many generations of fans you have, and then on top of that, it's continuing to grow. I think the only franchise that beat you is One Piece.
With the amount of episodes?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I looked up online, it's over 900 episodes.
They're animated, they don't count.
Exactly. With Power Ranger at 900, but they're at 1,000 something. So I'm like,
those filler arcs, they know to keep it going.
Exactly. So, as I was talking to Steve, it's like, hey, we need to get that going and getting our universe that you own. Because there hasn't been a lot of movies of Power Rangers.
Which is interesting because the Sentai, they make so many movies and spin-offs, and Kyoryuger has multiple on their own. Then they have a South Korean adaptation, Dino Force Brave. And they just don't tap into it.
Yes, and here in the U.S. version, it's like we have a handful of movies, but we have all the series. And I'm like, what would be great after this 30th anniversary is starting to see those universes connecting.
Yes.
Because y'all done some crossovers and yours with Beast Morphers and things like that, but it's like we get it for that little bit and then that's it. Y'all give us just
a little taste. We want the meal. We're ready, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've intermittent fasted. I would like to see a crossover where they have us team up with our Sentai counterparts.
That would be amazing.
And I know it would be interesting because you'd have to probably make it subtitled because most of them don't speak English and most of us obviously don't speak Japanese.
Yes.
I mean, watashi wa nihongo ga sukoshi hanashimasu, I speak a little bit, but that's really it. That sentence was like, ooh, sugoi desu ne. But my point being, it'd be cool. Like, isn't it be like a multiverse, like, oh, you're the red dino, I'm the red dino, come on, let's do it, go, Hasbro and Toei and whoever else.
I think that's the best, like you said, crossover event, because we've seen it with, multiple, versions of the Power Rangers on the series. We've had the crossover with the Ninja Turtles and so much, but we haven't had that. And then, of course, seeing like, Karen with, her counterpart, the Yellow Power Ranger is a guy. Yeah. And also seeing those differences and then working together.
It's so cool.
And then, even like you said, with the subtitles, it will be neat. Like you have, because of the crossover, your comms translate for each other.
Yeah, exactly. Each other. You understand? It's a thing. It can happen.
Yes. So I'm putting it out there. Let's, on all of you too.
Crossovers. Nightwing, Zatanna / Zatara / Spider-Man.
Yes. So in the next 5 to 7 years, let's make all that happen.
Of it. Yes.
So of course, with you being on Power Rangers, what was the most memorable episode for you and why?
I mean, the first episode, and we shot in blocks, so it's 3 episodes every 9 days, at least for Dino Charge. Okay. So, if you're at the Ranger base and if you go to there multiple times in those 3 episodes, you get confused. You're like, wait, so what? Is this the episode that I just did? Because you're like, oh, we're going to stay at the place, just change your clothes. And new episode, new day. So just trying to keep track of what the heck was happening sometimes. But I really, really liked in season 2 the Ice Age episode, which I believe was the first episode of season 2, just where Coda and I had to go save everyone, because anytime, like, it's cool working with all of us, but when there's only a few of you, it's easier to like stay in focus with each other, because every scene is both of you talking essentially, versus with Rangers, there's so many of you, and like there's like one person talking, everyone goes at the end or something. So just after hours of different angles, you get you're like trying to pay attention, but when it's just 2 people, then you're really able to bounce off of each other. So that's one of my favorites. Of course, what I was saying, the first episode in season 1, just because I was like, I'm actually a Power Ranger. Like, they haven't fired me yet. It's going well. Like, so
they like me.
At least they tell me they do.
Exactly. So, well, of course, with being here at Rangerstop, what has been, past or present, your favorite interaction at Rangerstop so far?
Oh my goodness, that's hard. There's so many. I mean, even yesterday, so I had to leave early for a wedding yesterday, and Jazz, Beast Morpher Blue, FaceTimed me because there was a little kid who came dressed as Tyler, and he was doing flips and stuff, and like I was so bummed. He didn't come today, so I didn't get to meet him.
Oh no!
But I at least got to say hi to him. Yes. It's just so cool that you see other kids. Like when I was a kid, I was a Power Ranger for Halloween, and now like kids are me. Like that's so crazy to think about. So it's just such a blessing, and like hearing stories from people. So like even this weekend, I had multiple people tell me like, oh, I listened to your fit tips on Instagram, and I lost, literally some of them said over 100 pounds.
Wow.
Of course, they're putting in the work. I didn't, but they're like, no, you motivated me, and seeing you go to the gym all the time.
That push.
Yeah, so that is really cool, because you're impacting them in a way that's beyond what you think, like, oh, I was a character wearing spandex on a kid's show. And they're like, no, you don't understand, like, it's going through something really hard in life. And the positivity your character brought to the screen really helped me through. So stuff like that. It's just like, okay, it was worth it. So.
Yeah, and I, have said this in other interviews, but I think that's the beauty that makes Rangerstop so different than other conventions. The interactions you have with the guests, with our attendees, the VIP experiences, and of course the iconic if you tend, you must make sure you're 18 and over. The After Dark panel,
which I never go to.
Because a couple of our other Rangers kind of gave a look. We're talking about the hot chip challenge they did during the After Dark panel, and and all that was tied to that. So they gave a little tidbit to our viewers about what was going on this weekend.
Okay.
But it's a great way for y'all to get to know your Rangers, but no phones, no cameras. And you have to be 18 plus because there are no holds bars.
No.
They're, answering questions and everything else. But it's just that personal interaction that you have, and then seeing how, as I'm going around as staff and seeing how people's faces are lighting up.
Yeah.
And, people dropping in, morphing with y'all.
Yes.
And stuff. And, like you said, seeing, the multiple generations of people that connect with your characters, you inspire them, and I've heard stories from some of the other guests of how people come up to me like, I was in a dark place, and your shows helped me get through it, and it just shows the true impact not only of your characters but as the show as a whole too. So I know there's so many out there, appreciate everything I've done and continue to do, and allowing them to come and see you not only here in Orlando, but also in Rangerstop and Pop in Atlanta also, which is in June. Get your tickets.
Check it out. It's cool. I've gone to the first 2 years. Highly recommend it.
Yes, definitely. And of course, you're in Atlanta, so there's a lot to see. It's downtown. And also, tickets are currently available for a general weekend pass for $30.
Wow.
So jump on that very quickly because it's not going to last much longer. And that way you can secure your plans for June of 2023 to go to Atlanta. And then, in the next month or two, you'll start hearing about the plans for Orlando 2023. So, and with that, as our last question, I'm asking everybody.
My favorite color is blue.
Okay. If you were that lucky person in California that won the $1.something billion in the lottery.
I was that person.
Okay. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone. It's not true.
But if you could turn any comic or book to life through film or a series, which one would that be for you?
You mean like if I had the money to like build my own bat cave or something?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, geez. I mean, I like having real life Iron Man suit, if that's even, I know we have like jetpacky type things now. Stuff like that would be cool.
Yes.
I don't know, because it's not like I could pay like, hey, use this money to give me super strength. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's on the field.
You never know.
I don't know. I also don't want to take a random drug injection like Captain America to see what happens.
And hope for the best.
Yeah, that's not my style. I'll just work out and take protein. It's fine. I think it'd be cool to have some kind of super suits.
Yeah.
Or, having super gadgets that are, keep you safe and like you're able to like protect people and things, But I don't even, I never even fathom owning that much money. Yeah. So I don't really think about it that often.
Because especially like, you could even fund and make your own Nightwing movie.
I know. No, I know that crossed my mind too, but I was like, I didn't know if you meant like what would I do in real life with it, or like
real
make
life
a movie with it, or
you could do movie whatever you want with it.
I don't know. I have to think about it. I'd have to brainstorm, draw like a Venn diagram from high school, and be like pros and cons list.
Exactly. And you have to figure out like what people who actually know you that shows up all of a sudden and say,
hey Brennan, how you doing? It's almost my birthday.
Remember I was your neighbor when you were 2.
My Amazon wish list is literally everything on Amazon. You can afford it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Because we were friends for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, of course, for those that are watching, and what is the best way they can follow you on social media?
So my cell phone number is, so at Brennan Mejia is my Instagram. Okay. YouTube also has handles now, which is also at Brennan Mejia.
Nice,
which is cool.
It took them forever to do it, but finally, I'm so happy they did it.
TikTok, I believe, is Brennan Mejia or Brennan. No, it's Brennan _ me. It's one of those. I have more followers on TikTok than Instagram.
Yes.
And I barely ever go on TikTok, but it's just because of iCarly it blew up. But yeah, so it's something Brennan something. I don't know, type in backwards talker and I should probably pop up.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't know, that's really the only ones I use.
And then like definitely YouTube, so you can watch some of the videos, and like Brennan was saying, follow Instagram to get that inspiration, especially as you heard the stories of some people seeing the workouts and things that he's posting, that you may get that inspiration to kind of help you. So when you come next year, you're like, Brennan, I saw you on live. I went to your Instagram and I lost 48 pounds, and look at this six pack.
I'd be like, geez, give me your workout regimen.
Exactly.
I know.
Well, of course, everyone, thank you again for tuning in. Definitely have your notifications on for our last guest for this weekend. So you can definitely hear from that guest and learn more about them. But once again, don't forget to go to Rangerstop to get your tickets, and then follow Rangerstop on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, so you can definitely check out these videos, but also get information of the upcoming Rangerstop Orlando coming in November 2023.
Ooh,
so exactly. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. And we are wishing you a great rest of your afternoon on this
or
Sunday.
Evening, maybe where you live, I don't know.
Exactly, wherever you are in the world watching this.